Well, hello. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Starbase Studio B. Moving some stuff around my desk because I wasn't ready to start this thing. Hope everyone's doing great today. So there's a topic for today's show, which is we're going to take a look at some of the photos that I took earlier today at Starbase. So I'm going to jump into Photoshop in a minute here. What's up, Debs? How you doing? Let's take a look at some of this stuff in a minute here, but I want to settle in, get a drink. I was at Starbase. What time was it? 10 o'clock this morning? Something like that. 10 o'clock. I was there for about an hour. I was at the launch site. Excuse me. Saw Booster 4. They were working on the bottom of Booster 4. They were working on the flap of Starship. So we're going to take a look at what they were doing today, just from photos. We're zooming in. What's up, Passing Wind? And just like zooming in, we're going to create, these photos, and I'm going to post them up on Patreon, some on the Discord channel. So if you don't know, or if you're not part of the Discord channel or Patreon, there's links in the description below. So, and also I think, let me see. Let's see if this works. We'll see. We'll see if this works. I don't know. I haven't done a live one in a while from the studio. So there we go. Yeah, you can sub to Starship Daily too. That happened. Listen to Starlink Mission Control. Starlink, actually. Successful launch. That was cool. Good for them. They did that one pretty good. I'm just chilling here. That camera behind me, that one right there, by the way, that's a new streaming camera that I got. So instead of using like all of this like studio camera, and it's heavy and it's big, and since I was nursing an ankle for the longest time, I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, how can I get these zoom shots from like the side of the road with this big camera? I can't lug it down the stairs. Excuse me. I got a frog in my throat today. But how can I get zoom shots? That has like a pretty gnarly zoom on it. So that's what that's for. That's also like a studio camera. So I'm going to have it set up over here too. And it's going to have like a secondary angle when I do live shows and when I do stuff from the studio too. So it adds a more than just side of the road studio stuff or, things like that, but it's a camcorder. So it's really easy. Like, as you can see, pick it up by the handle. If you don't, if you're just going to do run and gun, pick it up by the handle, throw it in a backpack, really lightweight. It's like, I don't know. It's like an Xbox controller light. It's super light. So I'm pretty stoked about that. You saw the Falcon launch? Oh, that's awesome. That is sweet. Just gone midnight cold, 30 degrees Fahrenheit. What is it today? Let's see. Oh, I don't like to do this because I guess people get jealous of the weather here in Brownsville, but it's 80 degrees right now. 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And yeah, people get jealous of the weather. And I'm like, yeah, well, that's why SpaceX chose to put Starbase down here, because the weather's beautiful. It's really like, you can't beat it. And there's right over this way, there's an island, South Padre Island. You can see from the island over to Starbase. It's like a 25-minute drive from me. And then I have Starbase that way, something like that. Yeah, 25-minute drive that way too. So I have two of the coolest things in this area within 30 minutes of me. Plus downtown Brownsville is that way. So yeah, it's like, if you're a space enthusiast, if you're a space flight enthusiast, if you like Starship stuff, I would suggest coming down here, checking that out. That's too hot? No way, man. It is beautiful. I have shorts and a t-shirt on today, and it's like the perfect temperature for that. I have shorts, t-shirts, and like short socks. So, and it's January 6th. Like last year, January 6th, I was probably like de-icing my driveway and like sliding around on the roads. So I'm pretty happy to be here, to be honest with you. And the weather's beautiful, like I said, which is really nice if you want to go get footage of Starship or Starbase, or if you want to go down to, wherever. It's nice to be around that kind of stuff. So let's get into this. I want to show you guys some of these photos I took earlier today. And they're, like I said, these are just raw. These are not edited. There's no Photoshop done yet. We're going to go into Photoshop and we're going to take a look at them in Photoshop. And then, we'll do a little bit of touch up, and also we'll just do auto settings because it's so much easier than doing full color stuff. And I'll go back through and do full color grading later, but the auto stuff is pretty nice. And then we'll zoom in on what they're doing on the flaps. And also, there's some booster stuff there today and some other stuff, and I'll take a look at that stuff too. But these are, the first one we're going to look at is the forward flap. And it is, let me see here, to pop out the chat and move you guys over here. 65 in Jacksonville. Nice. Going to get really hot there in a few months. Then you'll be jealous of Europe. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's gonna get hot here. When I got here was September. I moved in September 11th, and it was 96 degrees the day I moved in. And on my way down here, I was driving down here, and I was in Ohio or something, somewhere in the Midwest. I was somewhere in the middle of nowhere, Arkansas or something. And I called up and I was like, hey, is my air conditioning out in my apartment? Because I want to make sure that I don't have a heat stroke when I start moving my stuff in. And they're like, yeah, everything will be fine. And I'm like, you guys seem pretty nonchalant about this. Like I was checking out the weather. It's like 92 degrees the day before. And then the day before that, it was 97. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to live through this. So I got down here and it was all good, but I was pretty scared for a little bit there. Hey, Michael, what's up? Hello from Brazil. Hello from Starbase Studio B here in Brownsville. And let's take a look. Let's take a look at what I got today. Some of these photos that I got. So let me switch this over. For you guys, I got to move the chat over so I can actually see this stuff. It's like two monitors. It's kind of a thing. There we go. So there's the first photo I got today. So let's do some autocorrect. Pretty simple stuff in Photoshop. Oops, I'm not the best at Photoshop, by the way. So pretty easy stuff in Photoshop. Autocorrect stuff. Unlock that background so we can move it around if we want to, or zoom in or whatever. So let's actually, I'm gonna do something real quick. Let's move this out a little bit, zoom in a little bit, and we will rotate it a tiny bit so it's a little bit more straight. And then we'll go into coloring and we'll take a look at what they're doing. We'll zoom in like this. Here we go. Let's do that. A little bit better, put it pretty centered, and then do the auto colors. See if you can see this in there. There's that. We just did the auto tone. Here comes auto contrast. And the big one is usually auto color. So looks pretty good, right? I'm pretty good at this stuff. Not really, but you can see the detail. Look at all this detail on the nose cone. All these tiles. There's so many tiles. There's thousands of tiles on this thing. It's insane how many tiles there are on this. But we can zoom down here. We can look around a little bit. Then you get to the workers that are working on what Neil said earlier, which I think is right. There's a motor in there, and there's something that kind of moves the flap back and forth in there. And I think they were digging in there and they're looking at that. But I don't think we can get in super close on them. It gets a little bit hazy. But we can kind of zoom in and out here. Take a better look. Can't really see too much in there because I was across a 2-lane road next to a giant puddle and then another like 400 yards in, and we could get up this close. So not too bad. I think we're doing pretty good. So this is a pretty cool shot. I'm pretty excited about this one. And this, as you know, it started off as like the brightest photo you've ever seen in your life, but it turned out to be pretty good. It looked, it's not the best, but it's pretty good photo. Just be over here biting my tongue. Hans, welcome. Yeah, I know, Neil. I know. You're probably like, oh man, look at this novice over here. Look at this new guy. But Yeah, so these are the very basic steps to make it look decent, right? So as you can see, there's some workers in there doing their thing. And I'm going to switch over to the next photo, which is another photo of Starship, of the nose with some people, you know, and the boop. Unlock it so we can do some fun stuff. Do that a little bit more. But you don't really need much to kind of show off. There we go. Get it pretty centered again. Maybe, just maybe, we can zoom in on these workers on the flap there. There we go. Let's see if we can get this in here. Let's do some auto color again. Tesla motor. Yeah, right? Image tone, image contrast, image color. And we can, but look at how dark that one is. Can't really see much. And it was really, really bright. So sometimes the auto stuff doesn't work that well. So let's see. So that's kind of, so this color right here is more the natural color of the Starship. It's like a metallic bluish, but also there's like a hint of like a rusty color. I don't know if it's, you know, it's not like an orange or anything. It's like a dirty blue, like a dirty whitish blue, if that makes sense. So we can zoom in a little bit, see what these guys are doing. But like I was saying, we can do a little bit of image adjustment here. We'll do some brightness and contrast. We can just do auto, see what it does. It doesn't do much. We can brighten it up a little bit more, but can't really see too much what they're doing in there. But it looks like they're in the area where the motor is, like Neil was saying earlier. So Neil, I think you were right. I think you were right with that motor thing. We can get a little bit more contrasty, but it doesn't look too good at that point. Zoom out. It looks good when it's a small photo or when it's like this, but when you zoom in really far, it's not that good. This is at 25% right here. So if you zoom into 100%, like this, that's 100% zoom in. It's a huge, huge photo. So you can see in there. Can't wait for the version with Windows. I can't either. It's going to be so cool, man. Passing wind. It's going to be like, it's going to be one of the like craziest things to see them build that down here. And I know it's going to be years and years and years before they do that. But this is the beginning of those kind of ships, right? 2024, Dear Moon, possibly 2023, but I doubt it. You know, with the way they're going right now, once the environmental stuff, you know, kicks in and they're all good to go and expand the area down here, you know, they'll have to do, I don't know, 2 a month. It seems like that's what it seems like. They'll have to test at least 2 a month. Will SpaceX include a flight terminator device on the crewed Starship missions? Would you press the button if it saved lives? Oh, that's a great question, Folded Eagle. Oh, I don't know. I would assume they would. I'm assuming that they would, due to the fact that if anything, if this were to fall onto a populated area of some, you know, for some reason, they'd have to. But, you know, they'd have to make that call. And it would be the worst thing that would ever happen. So that would, yeah, I don't know. Since there's no escape mechanism, you know? So there's no escape mechanism for the people. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm not sure what they would do, but I'm assuming they would, just because if it were to, say, fly over Orlando or something like that, and they knew they couldn't recover it, but like, it's such a moral dilemma at that point. Yeah. So yeah, it is a no-win situation. Exactly. Exactly. There's no way to get around it. I mean, if you save, it's like the train, you know, like you're going down a track, and if there's one guy over here and he's holding 5 people hostage, and there's one guy over here and he's holding 1 person hostage. Like, which way do you go? Who do you save? You know, it's like, or like they're holding 100 people and this other guy's holding like 1 person. Will automatically occur, so no human interaction to reduce guilt. That's a good observation, actually, because yeah, nobody wants to push that button, man. There's no way. Nobody wants that. It's a no-win situation. Hello, SpaceX Rocks from UK. Mark, thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, Will in chat, thanks for the content. Great work. You tried KSP game. Yeah, actually, you know what? I've been digging into it a little bit lately. I've been trying to get some mods in there so I can get some Starship stuff going, because I want to make Starship videos with Kerbal. I want to add Kerbal, basically Kerbal graphics to some of our Starship videos, and I think it'd be pretty interesting to add that. So I've been digging in a little bit on Kerbal, but I'm not good. So it's it's funny. I was actually thinking about streaming some Kerbal on this channel and just learning as I go. You know, like learning with chat, because I think that'll be really funny. Or learn on Twitch. You know, we do have a Twitch channel, Space News Pod on Twitch. So it might be funny just to go over there, do some Kerbal, learn some stuff, and also, you know, it'll be fun on Twitch. Yeah. The Starship Nose Cone can be the EEV. I don't think there's going to be any. I think there's no way to or the SpaceX has said numerous times that there's going to be no evacuation protocol in place for starships, which, you know, same with the shuttle. It's a risk the people on the flight have to take. So unfortunately, that's just kind of how it is. And here's a closer up view. I zoomed in on this one, and we're going to do another auto. Let's do a little auto. We don't really have to fix this one. So we can just do a auto image adjustment here. Auto tone, auto contrast, auto color. And you can see the workers up there. A little bit out of focus when you get that far away. It's funny that the tiles are in really, like, the tiles are in great focus there, considering how far away I was. But then you get up closer to these guys, which are only, you know, they're right above the tiles, and they're a little bit out of focus because they're a little bit forward, and the tiles are like, you know, a couple feet back. So the workers up there are a little bit out of focus, but you can see them digging in. You know, you can see them digging in there and like looking at that motor area. Yes, I tried all the SpaceX rockets and also the Starship. Really great game. Yeah, it's fun. Well, Debs, you're right. My KSP looks horrible. It's always like one like little tiny section in the middle, like one really skinny section in the middle, and then I put a lot of thrusters on the outside, and it's hilarious. I just keep wrapping them around. I have like 15, 20, you know, side boosters. It's amazing. But yeah, modded Kerbal is amazing, and the graphics on modded Kerbal, like, you could make kind of you know, good filler videos with the Kerbal stuff. So I was thinking about that. You know, it's a really easy way to do it. It's not the best, but if you get the mods and you get the texture packs and stuff, you can make it look insanely good. So that's what I was working on for the last, like, you know, I've been digging into it a little bit here and there, just like jumping on late at night or whatever, for like 30 minutes or an hour, and then going like, I have no idea what I'm doing. so yeah, that's where I'm at with that. And Kerbal, even though it's amazing, it's really difficult, man. It's definitely difficult. So let's do some auto tone. Whoops. Auto contrast and some auto color on this guy. Gonna bump up the brightness and contrast a little bit. Brightness a little bit there. Contrast, bring it down a bit there. There we go. So these will all be available in the highest quality that I can get them on the Patreon. So if you are interested in looking at these, and you can edit them and do whatever you want to with them from the Patreon, There's going to be a watermark on them, of course, but if you want to just download them and check them out, it'll be available on the Patreon later tonight. KSP2 isn't working. Maybe comes out this year. Yeah. And wish you in the chat a happy new year. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to be cool. Kerbal 2 is going to be cool. I've actually talked to the Kerbal people, trying to get a copy of it so I can stream it and stuff. I think it would be pretty interesting to do on the channel when they launch. It'll be an interesting time for gaming, but also the fact that you can go to other planets and you can build a habitat. That's going to be really interesting. I think that's a pretty cool dynamic, because right now you go to another planet, you land, walk around a little bit, go back to your ship, take off, and hope to get home and not burn up in the atmosphere on the way in. That's what I do usually. I usually end up in the ocean someplace upside down, like the worst possible thing to do in Kerbal. Or I'll end up like, in a million pieces. So yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. So we're almost at 90,000 subscribers. So we're at 80. What was we at? Almost 87. Are we right now? I don't even know where we're at right now. Yeah, 87,700. So we're pretty close to 90,000. So if we can get up to 90,000, that'd be great. By a couple months from now would be really cool. So that's where we're at right now with that. Thanks for, by the way, everyone who's watching today, thank you for your support. I really do appreciate you. And I have a couple more photos to take a look at with you guys. And we're just chatting too, just chilling. Here's a booster. This is the side of the booster from this morning. This is one of my favorite photos that I took this morning. There's people working on the bottom and they were behind the booster. So I really couldn't see what they were doing though, unfortunately. And the guy in the lift up here in the orange lift, you can see they're working on the lines on the side. So I'm going to take I didn't really have to do anything with the colors here. So I'm going to take a quick zoom in. Look what they're doing up here. And I don't know what tools they were using. And this is the first time I've actually went into Photoshop and looked at this. But it looks like they're working on the lines on the side of the booster here. I'm not sure what they were doing exactly. But you can see, I was trying to see if he had a welding torch or something. It looks like there's two people in that lift as well. If you zoom out, they're about they're not that far up in the whole booster, because the booster is huge. The berm is really, they were ripping some of the wiring off it the other day, like right off the top of it. They were just ripping it off with a backhoe or something. Just ripping it off, and I think they're either adding more or they're restructuring it. But yeah, I don't know exactly what they're doing here, because you can't really see. He's just trying to look busy. That's what I'm thinking. Just like what Jude said, like everyone's just kind of look busy. This thing's ready to go, but let's just look busy, guys, until this thing gets to fly. That's what it seems like. But yeah, I didn't even really see this one yet. I looked at it like very briefly earlier, but now we're going to look at the load spreader on the top of booster 4. I'm going to drag this in here. Then we'll see if this works out. I'll just open it up. There we go. There's the load spreader on top of booster 4. Looking pretty good. Nobody up there working. The other night I did a live stream and they put the load spreader down, and there was a person at the top of the booster 4, 250 feet in the air. If you're 250 feet in the air, and of course you have your safety harness and things like that, and the inside of the booster, there's enough room for a person to walk around on the inside. So they're inside and they're attaching certain pieces and getting it into the right position. So it can, as you can see, it's like right here, it loops around sort of in that green cable. That's where it attaches. But they have to get in the right position first. Isn't that crazy though? Like that thing is huge. It's 250 feet in the air. And there was a person. Can I zoom in at the pin? Yes. Which one? These two right up here? And Neil, I'll share this with you too before night's end. There you go. That pin right there, the blue or the green one at the very top. There you go. Yeah, if anybody else has any recommendations, or if you want to see a certain part of the photo, just let me know, because we're just looking at this thing right now. I'm just kind of looking at it and going, I haven't seen this either. I really just took this out of the memory card. It was like, this would be kind of cool to show people before we post it up. And I have another idea that I want to share with you guys. Oh, on the booster. Okay. Look at that. That does not like. There we go. Ooh, man. That is the full photo. Look at, oh, okay, so let's go under. My neighbor has a loud motorcycle and always like exactly 5:30 in PM. Grid fins, look at how close that is. Every day at 5:30. He's just like, wah, wah. He like guns it out of here. It's amazing. But he's like, it's such a cool dude. I think he might even work for SpaceX. I don't know. It's like, he's got got a SpaceX shirt on a couple days ago. So I thought he was a SpaceX guy. Will there be salt corrosion because it has been standing outside so long? Some stuff might need replacing. That's true. And so a good, I mean, stainless steel should be fine. Like the booster and the rocket should be fine, and the Starship should be fine. But there are very intricate parts in all of these, and a really good indication of how much sand there is down there is the other day I was at the production facility, and when I was at the production facility, I had my phone out the window because I couldn't get my camera out of the back because it was so windy. That was the day that it was 40 plus miles an hour winds. So I was just holding my phone like out the window like this on a little, I have a little tripod thing for it, a little handheld thing. And I was holding it out the window, and a gust of wind came through and sand got in everything. Like my eyes, it got like sand just went poof into my eyes, into the inside of my car, in up my nose, in my mouth. It's like very fine grained sand. So I could assume that like all the salt, all the sand, everything down there, like the salt from the Gulf would be like really detrimental to some of these parts. So yeah, I'm sure eventually there's a shelf life for these things, you know, rust on the pins for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm assuming like a lot of these things will have to be replaced or refurbished or something. Right there is a really good close up of the bottom of, there you go. There you go. Pretty close up there. Pretty good close up of the bottom of the, of that. Like that thing is massive. I've seen people climbing on these things and working on these things. And I'm like, nope, because you could just fall through the holes. I mean, they have security, you know, safety equipment on, but I always feel like just one wrong move and you're going to yoink, like fall through one of these holes, these grid fins. But I don't know. That's just me being irrational and me going like, I wouldn't be up there anyway because I'm afraid of heights. So, so yeah, no, you wouldn't get me up there. But it looks like, yeah, it looks like there's some rust and some corrosion underneath the fins. There we go. Can't really get too close. But great photo, by the way. Thanks, Neil. Let me see if I have another one or two that we could take a look at. Let's see. The tank farm one, not so good. It's pretty dark, but you can kind of see scale if you look at the tank farm. So I'll open that one up. Let's see, daylight. Let's see. Do some color grading on it, but we'll just do some really quick auto. Neil's killing me in his head right now. We're gonna play PUBG later tonight, probably, and I'll be his first target. Adjustments, brightness and contrast. Let's see, through auto. That's a little bit better. It was very bright that day, and these are white, so you have to get it a little bit whiter. So let's do that. These tanks are absolutely massive. Absolutely massive. Like, you feel like a little ant when you're next to them. I was across the road. Whenever I take the photos, I'm across the road on Highway 4, and I always feel like I'm like tiny thing with all this massive construction. Here you can see the chopsticks as well, and the QD arm, and a little bit of the orbital platform as well. We need a rocket polishing space lord. Yeah, we do. Like, this place is dirty. Like, it's not a clean place. Like, Starbase is not a clean place. There's dirt, there's dust, there's, seawater, there's everything. Like, everything in the wild is out here. So there's animals walking around. Like, I've seen like, I don't know if they were coyotes or whatever on the side of the road. I've seen all sorts of, I've seen a fox, down there. I've seen a lot of birds, a lot of wildlife down there. So I can see why the wildlife people are really upset that SpaceX is down there, because when SpaceX wasn't there, it was just like a marshy, beautiful place. And like around SpaceX, you can see that as well. You can see that it's like a wildlife sanctuary. And like with SpaceX there, though, like, I'm excited because there's rockets, like, I'm excited about that. But I'm also like, and then I turn around because I'm looking at SpaceX this way, and then I turn around and I'm like, man, it's beautiful everywhere around here. So they picked one of the nicest places to build a rocket factory. Like, it's just beautiful. I got to get some shots of that too, because those shots with the wildlife and, like, the actual area, instead of just rockets and just tank farms and stuff like that, it's really cool. I think you guys would like to see it. I'll send you a picture of the grid fin size comparison on Insta. Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, acidic bird poo. Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of birds. Trust me. Yeah, some days I go home, if I'm down there for a couple hours, some days I'll come home and like the whole front of my car is like bird poop. I'm like, man, now I got to go wash my car. I'm like, I don't want to do that. But it's totally worth it though. And here you can see, let me show you this one too. One more, and we'll take a quick break here in the live stuff. Here's where they're working on the fence today too. I'll show you that one. And I posted a video earlier today on the channel if you want to see them installing a new fence. It's not like the most glamorous thing, but they're definitely installing a new fence at Starbase. Is this going to open? There we go. Open. Shop to daylight. Open. There we go. So pretty blown out. Let's do some image, auto tone, auto contrast, auto color. Well, this is the new fence they're installing, and these aren't sheets of metal. These are like, it's a really fine mesh, so you can still see through it. But it's definitely different than what it was a couple days ago. Like, this wasn't there a couple days ago. This is brand new. It's a launch tower tall enough to handle extra ring section planned for Starship. It should be pretty close, but they may have to add a couple toppers to it. Bird crap burned through a power line once that swung 5 inches from my head. What? That's crazy. Like, how's that even a thing? Whoa, is this a ninja? Check this guy out. He's like fully... he's got the whole suit on, man. But that person is super smart, because you cover up your whole face, your eyes, your neck, everything. You don't get a sunburn. You keep the heat out. And also, they have a mask on. And the reason why they have a mask on is because the sand particulates are so small and they get in your lungs while you're breathing it all day. Some people, don't do it. Like the guy at the top there is a welder and he doesn't have a mask on, but he has his face mask on when he's welding. This guy, nope, he doesn't have a mask on. He didn't have a mask on the whole time I was there. And this other person over here in the mask and the whole outfit here, super smart, super smart. I do have a mask that I can wear when I'm down there. When I live stream, I can't really wear it because it's hard for me to talk in it. And it's annoying, kind of more so than anything. So I'll take it on and off. But it's definitely cool that somebody was wearing that getup today. And those are the things that you don't notice until, like, I took a photo. You don't notice those things till you go back through and see all these things, all the extra stuff. It's pretty cool, though. It's pretty cool. So this is the outside fence. This is the temporary construction fence that they have right now. It is very temporary. As you can see, it's being held down by sandbags at the bottom. So now they're putting up a more permanent fence. The more permanent fence will basically protect SpaceX. Protect the people outside of SpaceX. Say if something happens and, a truck runs over a hammer and the hammer goes flinging someplace, this fence will stop it from hitting somebody's car windshield or hitting somebody in the head or something. So that's what these fences are for keeping things inside of SpaceX's Starbase that should be in there and keeping things out that aren't supposed to be in there. You can't really see through them, though. So I hope they don't do this fence all the way around, but I'm pretty sure they're going to. And that's going to be a shame because eventually there will be very few places to film from. So unfortunately, that's going to be a reality in the next couple months, if not sooner. So I'm going to work with, whoever I see down there, whoever I know, and see if I can find a good spot. And there are a couple, like there's some by the dunes down by the ocean or by the Gulf that are good, but reception down there for live streams is impossible. So I'm very lucky that I have live stream capabilities right now down there, and I'm going to continue doing it as much as possible. But in the next couple months, in reality, it might not be a thing because I might not be able to see anything. So, so that's the thing, man. Like, how hard is it to just kind of not build that? A big selfie stick. I saw that, David. We can't do the any swear words on this channel because it's family friendly, but I get it though. A big pole, and some of the live stream stations, they will have those things. But me on the side of the road, I'm probably going to have to either get different equipment or, try to upgrade stuff, or, we'll figure it out as we go. But that's the crux of the situation. You come down here, you do something crazy and you just deal with it. You work with it. You keep going every single day. You keep moving forward. So, haven't watched as much since you moved there. Hope you settled in okay. Life must be a blast there. Yeah. Dude, I can't even explain how cool it is. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest with you guys because I think it's important that you guys know this, because I used to be, and Debs knows this, Neil knows this. I used to take care of my dad. So I lived in Vermont before the pandemic started. And then I moved back to help out my dad. And I was staying at my dad's house for like a year. Right. And I had this little tiny room, my old high school room, like when I was a little kid. And I just stayed there with him and helped him out because he's 80 some odd years old. Right. He didn't know what's going on, So I'm there to help him out. Tiny room. It's insanely hot in that room all the time. Insanely cold during the winter, insanely hot during the summertime. And I would run the air conditioner full blast all summer long. And I'd still be up there sweating. So all of my old videos, it's just like, you didn't see it, but I would make them short because I couldn't last past like 10 minutes because it was so hot up there. In my live streams up there, I'm like dying. Like I'm constantly drinking water, taking breaks, you know, stuff like that. But moving down here, it's a pretty big deal because one, I'm in like right next to SpaceX, but the weather here is beautiful. Like right now, it's what? Let me check again. 79 degrees in Brownsville. Sunny, 79, 77. Earlier today when I was down at SpaceX, it was 70 when I got there. And by the time I left, 75, sunny, bright, beautiful. And it was a great day. You know, it's a great weather day. So I think the move down here has been successful so far in working on new ways of success. And I'll have some information about that, which is going to be cool. And I think you guys are going to like it. But I can't say much more. I have a really cool idea, and I think you guys will be really into it. But you know what, chat? I have a question for you. Okay, this is just off the top of my head. So say if like, you know, somebody had something at Starbase, would that be something you would be interested in having? So say if I like, let me see, what if I have a piece of paper, and this is just a piece of paper. I'm just gonna fold it up so you don't get any information. A piece of paper. And this isn't the whole thing, but it's gonna be way cooler than a piece of paper. A piece of paper. Go to Starbase with a piece of paper. Take a photo with a piece of paper. Whatever, write on it, Starbase, January 6th, 2022, and then send it to you. Would that be cool? But it'll be different things than a little, like, I think this is my rent notice or something. This is my lease for renewal notice, but it'll be way cooler than a lease for renewal notice. So let me know what you think, because I think it's a cool idea, but it's a work in progress also. It's just coming off the top of my head, but I think it's neat. And I think it's a good way to share things with people that don't have access to it. You know, not everybody can move here. I'm very fortunate. I had some really great support, and I continue to have really great support. So I know that I'm very fortunate to be here, and I want to share it with everybody. And that's why I do this channel. That's why I do the Starship Daily channel. I don't do it for me. Like, I don't even care about being on a camera. Like, I don't care. I want to share this cool place with everybody, and I want to share spaceflight with everybody. So I want to find other ways to do it. Please have blown up Starship would be nice. That would be nice. I've actually looked around for those when I was at the beach. I was like, oh, I wonder if there's like little piece of metal or something down there. So, you know, anything like that. Like if you take something like this, you know, not this piece of paper, but if you something like this and you just like touch the ground with it, like that thing has been to Starbase technically. So I was thinking about that, and I was like, you can't take anything from there. You can't take the sand. You can't take the water. It's a wildlife preserve. You can't touch that stuff. You can't do anything like that, but you can bring something in and bring it out. So I thought it'd be kind of neat. Just needs a few hundred cans of WD-40. Sign Elon Musk and send him. Oh, David, there was a cool thing that happened to me today regarding Elon. And it was kind of coincidental and accidental. I was at Starbase for about an hour doing a live stream. And when I was going back, I was going to go to the production site on the way back for the launch site. They had a detour. So I had to go right and around through the Boca Chica village. And I was like, you just can't go back there. Like, I've never been back there. I was like, this is cool. Like, I get a little sneak peek, you know, of like the other side of SpaceX. And like, there's, if you go back there, there's like what's it called? Solar panels, like big solar panels on the left side, and on the right side, there's the Boca Chica houses and stuff. But Elon's little $50,000 house is back there too. So I was like, I got to drive by it today. And I was like, that's cool. I was like, that's Elon's house. And then I was like, I got to keep my eyes on the road. Don't want to crash. That would be weird. That'd be weird if I'm gawking at Elon's house and then I crash into it or something. That would be bad. Son, loads of respect for you doing it and getting down there. Wish you all the best. Thanks, Jamin. I appreciate that. I really do. What's up, Neverworks? How you doing? Hope everything's going well with you guys, and hope you guys have been enjoying this stuff too. Let me see if I have any more photos for Photoshop little thing here that we're doing today. I don't think I have anything that's really cool. I have some older photos. Yeah, I just took a couple snaps today just to see what's up. Put them up on Patreon and stuff. Let me just take a look here. They have to render in because they're all... oh, here's a kind of neat one from a while ago. This is from down the road. There we go. It's from down the road, a little bit past the OLIT. It's on the side of Highway 4. On the right side if you're going down. Contrast color. Let's do some of that. And this is kind of the... There we go. There you go. Some of the wildlife. A little contrast there. I thought it was pretty neat. Starship in the background, and in the foreground you have some of the wildlife on the dunes. I think it's pretty neat. And on the right side you have the booster as well. Elon can charge $50 to pet his pupper. Some of the sunset pics are awesome. Thanks, Debs. I'll have to look into those and see if I can find them so we can pull those up too. I really like, that was my first sunset at Starbase. Those first photos that you saw. Yeah, when I saw those, when I got those, I was like, I took those are cool. Like everything that I do surprises me because I'm not a classically trained photographer. I've filmed skateboarding, and I've worked in a production studio, a television production studio. And, it's been a hobby of mine for a while, but I'm not trained in it. So when I got those photos, I was like, that's cool. I thought Elon was staying in SN 15 and 16, so he's in the nose cone. How cool would it be if like late at night, he sneaks in there and there's like a little elevator at the bottom. He pushes a button, or he just walks up to it and it lowers down because he doesn't need to push a button. He's Elon Musk. So it lowers down, he gets into it, and then he goes, takes him up to the top. There's like one little hatch that opens. You see him peeking out of it. That would be pretty cool. See, there you go. That's what my mind does. Like when people say things like that, I'm like, what's the most cartoonish way of doing things? And that's exactly how I think about everything. So yeah, my whole head is like a Looney Tunes cartoon going on most of the time. Pretty great. It's pretty fun. Looks so alive and natural. Yeah, it is. The whole area is alive. The whole area it's beautiful. Like I said before, there's nature, there's wildlife. There's all sorts of fun stuff, and the fact of the matter is, like, it's such a contrast to these giant rockets that are right there. Just really, really cool contrast. Elon is cool enough to pull off the Starship loft. Yeah, I agree with you. 100%. He could do it. If anyone could do it, Elon could pull it off. He's up there with the header tank, Lily. That's amazing. Yeah, he's just like, this is the way, man. This is what I need to be doing right now. This header tank. Some more likes would be kind, and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for that. Thanks for being kind about the show. So I think that's going to wrap it up for now. I'm going to do some more of these after we do. So I'm going to do a booster premiere tomorrow too. I'm going to go through the footage tonight, do a premiere, and we'll probably do another live stream of some more photos and stuff, because I think this is really fun. I think it's really neat to share this with you, and we just get to talk about Starship. So it's just a fun thing to do. We just get to look at Photoshop stuff and then post it up to Patreon. You guys get to be part of the process. I get to tell you about my wacky idea here. Very cool. Very cool. So that's going to wrap it up for now, guys. That's about it. That's about it for me. So thank you for all of your support and just hanging out. I really appreciate you. And I couldn't do it without you. So yeah, till next time, everybody. Bye-bye. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's switch over to this. See if that's a good ender. There we go. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks again. Bye-bye.